my plans. Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city, they need me, is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy and storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big scrapers in the croutons. Hit the button going high speed. Need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick. Got a big fleece. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. I see they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Our first senior attendant is Madison Ann Boyer. Madison is the daughter of Corey and Belinda Boyer. She is actively involved in the 4-H, the FFA, and is a member of volleyball and the softball teams. Madison's future plans are to attend college to become a veterinarian. Her favorite quote is, "Success is a journey, not a destination." Arthur Ashe. Our next senior attendant is Olivia Caitlin Brown. Olivia is the daughter of Steve and Sarah Brown. She is actively involved in basketball, volleyball, and within her church. Olivia plans to further her education in nursing by attending North Central State College after high school. Her favorite quote is, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." C.S. Lewis. And our final senior attendant is Rhea D. Walter. Rhea is the daughter of Kurt and Elizabeth Walter. She is part of the volleyball team and participates in track and field. She is also an active member of FCCLA within her church and Ohio Scholars Association. Rhea plans to attend college after high school. She is undecided on the major she wants to pursue. Her favorite quote is, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." Helen Keller. Now, we direct your attention to the 50-yard line for the introduction of the rest of the homecoming court. And now, we welcome back our 2023 homecoming king and are pleased to introduce you to our future royalty. Our 2023 homecoming king is Mr. Logan Toms. Logan is attending Ashland University and is majoring in finance. Next, we will introduce the future royalty, Mr. Beckett Hart. Beckett is the son of Sean and Megan Hart. He enjoys playing with his family and friends, fishing, and swimming. He also likes playing soccer, basketball, baseball, and football. In the future, Beckett would like to be a veterinarian. freshman attendant Jackson Timothy Christ. Jackson is the son of Rick and Alexis Christ. He is involved in motocross and enjoys mountain biking, golfing, and skiing. Jackson plans to go into electrical engineering in the future and trade within the stock market. His favorite quote is, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." Antoine Toussaint. Escorting Emma is sophomore attendant Joseph Ryan Culler. Joseph is the son of Jake and Sarah Culler. He plays football and is involved in 4-H and FFA. Joseph plans to work on and eventually take over his family's farm, making him the 8th generation to carry it on. His favorite quote is, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." Thomas Edison. Escorting Kira is junior attendant Lane Joseph Adkins. He is the son of Sarah Adkins. Lane plans to attend lineman training and become a journeyman after high school. His favorite quote is, "I cannot discover that anybody knows enough to say what is and what is definitely not possible." Henry Ford. Escorting Maddie is senior attendant William Lee Weitzel. He is the son of Jeremy and Brandy Weitzel. He plays football and is also on the baseball team. William plans to work for the Ashland Street Department as a traffic technician after graduation. His favorite quote is, "Live every day like it's your last." Marcus Aurelius. Escorting Olivia is senior attendant Robert Jeffrey Grover. Robert is the son of Mike and Kathy Grover. He plays football, basketball, and baseball. Robert plans to enter the workforce right after graduation. His favorite quote is, "It's hard to beat a person who never gives up." Babe Ruth. Escorting Rhea is senior attendant Buck Paul Arnold. He is the son of Dan and Tara Arnold. He is active in both football and basketball. Buck's future plans are to become a mechanic and own his own shop. His favorite quote is, "When life knocks you down, you get back up and kick life's butt twice as hard." Buck Paul Arnold. Finally, we have reached the evening's pivotal moment, the announcement of the 2024 Lucas High School Homecoming Queen and King. As outgoing King Logan Toms and Queen Sammy Darling take their places, we want to thank the cheerleaders for their assistance tonight as they present our senior ladies with a box of roses. On the count of 3, the seniors will open their boxes, with the 2024 Queen receiving white roses and a crown from the outgoing Queen, Sammy Darling. On the count of 3, ladies, show us your flowers. 1, 2, 3. The 2024 Homecoming King will be recognized as he receives a pass from outgoing King Logan Toms. On the count of three, Logan. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to our 2024 Homecoming Queen, Miss Madison Boyer, and the 2024 Homecoming King, Mr. William Whitesall.
Takes 5 minutes, it's chaos.
I give it all that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all that I have, I let it be, cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like wedding rings. Whole lot of globe trotting, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that, we sure gotta give it all raw, man, like Don Dallas. All that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never fly. I give it all, they want me rock, I never blow. I give it all, whoa. What you say, my man? Give it all, whoa. Hey, give it all, whoa. Yeah, stand tall, give it all that I have, I let it be, cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. A body addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
Welcome back to the Lucas Valley, where it is homecoming night, week 7 of high school football, and a pair of 3-3 squads coming off a tough losses matchup with plenty at stake in terms of the playoff picture, as the Lucas Cubs host the Aces of Amanda-Clearcreek in a live and free showdown that you can only watch right here on the OH Report. Opening kickoff and pre-game coverage from Bob Wine Field are on the way. Next.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? an important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
It's time for your 89 Homes pregame show. Tipping point for a couple of teams here tonight, each looking to get above 500 and jump up in the playoff rankings as Lucas is out onto the field ready to take on Amanda-Clearcreek in a battle of 3-3 squads. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bob Wine Field. I'm Brian Skowronski. Jeremy Peoples is with me here tonight. And Jeremy, this is a crucial game for both of these teams. Just 4 weeks left in the season, especially for Lucas, I would say. Playing up 2 divisions, they could really solidify themselves as a playoff team and probably leapfrog a couple into that area where they could be hosting in Week 11 with a victory here at home tonight.
Absolutely, Brian. This is one of those show-me games where Lucas can come out and show the state exactly who they are, exactly what they can accomplish, and maybe prove some doubters wrong. That 3-3 record might not be exactly indicative of the team that they are. So we'll see tonight how it shakes out.
Could be about the exact same scenario for the Amanda-Clearcreek Aces. Yet to score their first road win of the season, though. Difficult 1-point loss just last week. They played a really challenging schedule. Everybody at 500 or better so far. But a win certainly puts them in position for a home playoff game in Week 11. You got to get this one tonight if you're the Aces on the road against a smaller opponent.
Absolutely. They kind of have that big school conference down there. And, they've kind of shown that they belong, but they've also shown that, maybe they're not up to the standards of the big schools, but this is going to be a small school matchup, and I'm really excited to see these two running offenses kind of square off here.
That's exactly what the Lucas Cubs do. RPO, baby, their style still very much intact. They've been pretty one-dimensional offensively, though, haven't thrown it very well. So it's a roller coaster of a season, peaks and valleys. I think they hit a low on Saturday night, shut out on the road against Tiffin Calvert. Probably very hungry to bounce back here tonight, Jeremy, and especially on homecoming night.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it, Brian. Not much passing in this offense. I think a few weeks ago we saw them attempt one pass, and maybe they had 1 yard on that one pass. It's a run people over offense, like you always say, and this is going to be a really exciting game. I'm really excited to get it started.
It's going to be Aces ball first as the Cubs kick it away. It's a short kick right up the middle, and wisely just diving on top of it is one of the up men here for Amanda-Clearcreek, so they will take over. Solid field position at around the 35-yard line, and we are expecting tonight to see a lot from our player spotlights. We've got a tandem, 2 dudes who have been really carrying the rock a lot. When you look at Tommy Stai and Bodie Martin, and these 2 guys, they've on 3 different occasions, and actually it was 3 weeks in a row, each rushed for 100 yards, Jeremy. So you love seeing that 1-2 combination where you've got a guy that can get it to the outside and then a big play guy like they have in Stai, the workhorse.
Yeah, it's kind of like looking in the mirror for Lucas here. They've traditionally had those 1 or 2 guys that can bang it outside and put one up the middle too, and this is going to be really interesting. It's kind of like running against your scout team offense almost with a different playbook.
Pick of a couple there on first down. So it'll be 2nd down, 8. And they'll pitch it out wide. A little bit of space there for Tommy Stai, but the ball is loose.
That's Ray Caudill out there that just came up with that one, Brian.
So a huge play for the Lucas Cubs to start things off as they produce the first turnover of the night. And they are in business.
And, Brian, this is the kind of game where the turnovers like that are really going to magnify the impact. And with this running style on both sides of the ball here, those are crucial. You want to limit those turnovers as much as you can.
So it'll be a home and kitchen supply. First down for the Cubs already in plus territory at the Aces 48-yard line. Turnovers always so key. We'll dive into our keys to victory here in just a moment. After we see the first snap offensively for Lucas. And boy, what a breath of fresh air that is to get off to this start. Obviously, you want to convert some points here, Jeremy, but after going on the road in Tiffin last Saturday, didn't go so well. It's nice just to get some good juju going your way right away.
Absolutely. You know they're hungry for this game.
First down, though, carried on the toss play, and that's Brady Giegold, who was our player spotlight tonight. Dude's been pretty awesome. Next in line, I'd say, of great Lucas backs. Stellar effort the last home game that we saw him against Willard. And you love the more than 6.5 yards per carry average with over 100 attempts so far. So this kid, he's been getting it done, and just a young guy as well. A couple more years that he'll be here as one of the featured backs for Coach Jimmy Sweat.
Brady Giegold again on the carry.
Picks up 3 on first down, 3 more here on second down. So it'll be 3rd down, about 5 here for Lucas.
3rd down 5 for the Cubs.
Come out in the double wing. See that all night long. To the perimeter. Real close to first down yardage here. It's Giegold, the third consecutive carry.
That's a really important stop there, Brian. After the turnover, you know the Aces are definitely looking at kind of stoning Lucas's offense here.
The referee's got him marked short, so it'll be fourth down. They need about a yard, and they will push the pile as the Cubs offensive front help move the sticks. And you heard about the tush push. That's a whole lot of hands they're getting on the backside here and just moving that pile.
Yeah, it's not exactly the tush push we see at the next couple levels, but it works the same, and they got the result they wanted.
First down for the Cubs, and they'll toss it to the outside. Nice cutback here by Brady Anschutz. And Anschutz with the biggest pickup so far by this Lucas offense. We'll call it 8.
Yeah, and you talked about those tandems before the game here, Brian. Brady's one of those guys that he can make you miss, especially if you kind of commit a little too much to stopping that middle run. He can make some moves.
Second down, Cubs from the Aces' 27-yard line.
This is kind of a unique, weird-looking offense. It might take them just a little while to figure out what's going on out there.
Cubs again break the huddle. Everything in tight. Bobby under center. And Grover tosses. This time the Aces get there. First contact made Logan Stevens, the senior.
Brady Giegold on the carry.
And Giegold, just not a lot of wiggle room this time. He was able to shake loose for maybe a gain of 1.
Third down 4 for the Cubs.
And I'd like to see Giegold be a little more patient and kind of wait for that hole to develop, but give Amanda-Clearcreek credit. The left side of their defensive line is kind of getting through those blocks and doing their job.
3rd and 4, they'll bang it ahead. Dan Hockensmith. And the senior picks up a home and kitchen supply. First down, quick snap, and the Cubs catch him off guard.
There's a name the fans at home recognize. Big Dan, he gets through that hole. He's banging some heads, and he's the guy that you want carrying that rock up the middle.
First down, Cubs.
First trip into the red zone for Lucas on their opening drive. 8 yards away from Pater. Inside give. And this is Anschutz.
Looks like Stevens got that one.
And they did indeed. So the Aces cause a turnover of their own after they fumble on an opening possession. And the Cubs sitting right on the doorstep, and they cannot deliver the package.
You know that feels good for the Aces, too. They kind of didn't get the drive they wanted that first time with the fumble, and they get a little taste of their own medicine. Lucas does with that fumble there.
Looks like just ripped right out of the arms. So a fabulous play made by Stevens.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good first quarter here.
And they'll start this drive to the outside. And nowhere to go. Zach Winters setting the edge that time for the Cubs as he strung him out wide.
Really nice job there, kind of stretching it out and not getting, over pursuit there. Did a good job getting off of his block and penetrated.
So after driving 40 yards, the Cubs turn it over right on the doorstep.
Second down, Amanda-Clearcreek from their own 5-yard line.
About a 3-yard loss there on first down. So the Cubs defense stepping up, making it tough here for the Aces. And they'll be facing a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that Lucas front's doing a really good job powering through blocks, getting off blocks, shaking them, and covering those gaps. It looks like that's what Amanda-Clearcreek wants to do, is get through those gaps here up front. And I have it on good authority that they also like to work the outside a little bit. Don't pass very much, but it looks like they're in a passing formation here.
Stevens will pitch inside, and oh, how about that wiggle? A lot of speed here to the near side. Comes Tommy Stai. Stai out across the 50. He's in a foot race, and he'll go all the way 89 yards to the crib. Aces strike first.
Yeah, and Brian, I think they got him for a hold back here. It's going to be right around the 20-yard line.
So a tough break for Amanda-Clearcreek, as this one is going to come back.
And, you know, if you're Amanda-Clearcreek, you really hate that one's going to get called back here, because if you're Lucas's defense, once you see that kind of shovel pass play there once, you're going to remember it. And I think they're going to be game planning that. Lucas does a really good job of, you know, kind of game planning at halftime and getting ready for the second half.
So take the points off the board, and what would have been an explosive touchdown run by Tommy Stai, and he's had a bunch of them. I think had a 74-yarder just last week.
Brian, I think that would have been about a 92-yarder, something like that.
Instead, it goes for nothing. Matter of fact, they go backwards here, people. So
oh, goodness.
That's how much penalties can obviously have huge impact. So it'll now be 3rd down and 7. So back to the original line of scrimmage. The hold coming downfield, and that's what hurts even more. As Stevens flares it to the far side, it's Bratson Fowler. And he's got a decent run, but it will come up short. Maybe a gain of 5 that time.
Yeah, and Brian, as I was talking about, once you see that shovel pass, it's always going to be in the back of your mind if you're a linebacker or in the defensive secondary, and you can kind of see the linebackers. They stayed home really well there. They didn't want to get burned on it again.
Aces will have to punt it away. It's a high punt here from Hayden Dunn. And it'll be fair catch caught right at about midfield. And Bobby Grover, who just made the fair catch, will get a chance at his second drive of the evening. Bobby, a member of the senior homecoming court tonight. And a big shout out to William Wetzel, crowned king, along with Madison Boyer.
Yeah, that was a really well put together ceremony before the game there, Brian. I know a lot of schools just kind of throw it together. It's almost an afterthought for the game time stuff, and Lucas does a really good job of putting the homecoming stuff together.
So the Cubs toss it. Giegel fighting for a couple extra yards, and he'll get ripped down to the turf after a gain of 3.
Dan Hockensmith on the carry.
Kind of interesting. I think that was Dan Hockensmith coming from the wide side there, Brian. And usually he's in that fullback position, but maybe another little matchup wrinkle Lucas might be adding here.
Cubs trying to keep the opponent on their toes. You know they don't do it very often, dropping back in passing, so trying to show something a little bit different. This will be Giegold. Fakes to the inside, turns the shoulders to the perimeter, and he bursts out for a home and kitchen supply. First down.
Yeah, Giegold did a really nice job finding the edge there, but credit to the Lucas offensive line. They kind of, after that last drive, they might have lost that fumble, but front line here looks like they're kind of getting something going.
Solid run by the Cubs down to the 39-yard line. And to your point, tipping the cap to the offensive line, making sure that there was a big window to drive through on the outside for Giegold.
Yeah, Brian, I played quarterback in high school. That was eons ago, but one of the things that still lasts in my mind, I love those big hog mollies up front.
They'll run behind them here right side, and this time the Aces defense is waiting on them. Dylan Dyer and company drive them back basically for no gain.
Dylan Dyer on the stop for Amanda-Clearcreek.
See, Stai lost his lid that time. Tommy Stai, two-way player, had the big touchdown wiped out. Now Grover in the offense, facing a second down and long. Hockensmith, the deep back. Giegold, the near side wing. And they'll toss it to Dan. Looking for some space, following his blockers. He'll find a couple, but a flag comes in as he takes a big lick near side. Lit up by Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens laid the boom there, but Brian, I think there's probably going to be either a hold or maybe a chop.
Check out the replay. See if we can identify exactly what went down. Slow it down right here.
Yep, there it was. There's the hold.
Referee all over it. So it'll wipe out the first down run and put the Cubs behind the sticks now. 2nd and 16. This is not a strong suit, of course, for Lucas football. Try to play themselves from behind the chains, but they do get 5 yards the benefit. Had Hockensmith move in motion and was able to get a couple of those big fellas up front, like Cameron Tinsley to jump.
Brings up second down.
And Brian, I think that's just a kind of a symptom of the defensive line wanting to get through those blocks as quick as they can. And this Lucas offense, it can be really frustrating because they'll dink and dunk down the field and then gash you on the outside. And you want to get as much of a head start as you can. It's tough to hold up on those hard counts.
Giegold left side. Stutter steps. And maneuvers his way for a pickup of about 4. Bring up 3rd down. Cubs will still need roughly 8 to get the chain gang back on the move.
Brian, I just want to point out, quarterback Bobby Grover out there throwing blocks on the outside for his running backs. That's a guy that, you know, he's just out there to make sure that his guys are having some success. He doesn't exactly get to have the flashy plays like a traditional quarterback might throwing the ball, but he does what he needs to do to put his team in the best position to win.
Don't see a lot of quarterbacks out there leading the way through the hole, but that is a staple for Lucas. So bring a man in motion. Hockensmith off the corner. Stevens able to get the first tackle on the outside. 4th down on the way for the Cubs.
Boy, Stevens already, like I said, having a really great first quarter here. There's still a couple minutes to go, and I think he's got, maybe 4 tackles already?
He has been heavily involved defensively and will have to stay out on the field here. 4th down, Cubs going to go for it. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. No gain on 3rd down. And actually, they will break in punt formation here as Zach Winters will put a short kick on this one. Takes a hop, and it'll be taken on the hop here by Clearcreek. And that's Martin. And here comes Bodie Martin down the far sideline.
Boy, risky there, Brian, but he kind of made it work. He got to the outside. I think Lucas was really just expecting that punt to get downed.
Let's check this out. About 3 Cubs right in front of him, including Ray Caudill. Not a guy normally that you would want to tempt. But Bodie able to rip it and take it to the outside. Decent return instead of being right underneath the shadow of their own goalposts. $1:43 remaining here. Opening frame, homecoming night. If you're just joining us, Lucas was able to drive all the way down to about the 5-yard line. They fumbled after Amanda-Clearcreek coughed it up on their opening possession. So this is the 3rd offensive possession now for the Aces. And they'll start it with a run to the edge for maybe a couple.
We're as far away from that as you can possibly be right now. It's 2nd and 8. Referee makes it 2.
Both of these teams very heavily entrenched in the run game. Two-headed tandem for Clear Creek on the one side. Stai and Martin, their pocket aces, if you will. And here's one of them. Slipping through the middle and picking up around 5 here on second down.
Yeah, you said it, Brian. They got the 2 running backs in the backfield. It's kind of the old school pro-style offense like it used to be called back in the day, way back in the day. And you don't see it very often, but it can be pretty tough to defend. But, you know, maybe Lucas, they kind of versed in that run game a little bit, at least defending it.
Practice against it every single day. See if they have the gap assignment here. They will. Actually, a fake. And here goes Stevens. Everybody caught off guard as he rumbles all the way down to about the 17-yard line. Huge play by the Aces.
Brian, I couldn't tell. Was that an RPO or was that just a fake there?
Let's watch again together. We'll slow it down. So he fakes it up the middle, takes her to the outside, and was just able to juke out Wetzel.
Looks like that's a triple option there. That was really well executed. What a read.
Near the Cub 18-yard line.
The biggest play of the night for either side. Now they'll toss it here. Tommy Stai. Nowhere to run. Drop down right at the line of scrimmage.
And Brian, that triple option that we just saw, those are so tough to defend. But I tell you what, they're even tougher to get the good read by the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did. He read that outside edge player there, and he dove down trying to cover that dive. He kept it, and he made the right decision keeping it and gashing it up the middle because, you know, a lot of guys, as a quarterback, your instinct is kind of pitch that out, get it to your legs, I always call them, the running backs there. But he made the right decision, and he gashed him, and it worked.
No score yet. First quarter in the books. We'll see you again in a minute for quarter number 2.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Sorry if I blew your ear out.
Oh, no worries. Jeremy Peoples, proud pop-up here. Giving a shout-out to his daughter, member of the cheerleading staff for Lucas. Hoping to cheer the defense into a big stop here as they are back on their heels. I'm Brian Skowronski. Jeremy, of course, with me here tonight on the commentary. And a second down and 12 here to open up quarter number 2. Aces get back a couple, but it'll make it third down. And Amanda-Clearcreek can still pick up a first down inside of the 3-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like that was one of those weak side leads that you see a lot of the times in that pro set. You got the strong side with the tight end and then the weak side. And unfortunately for them, the left side of the line just couldn't get any push.
Stevens inside pitch. It works a couple of series back, and this time Stai wiggles to the outside. This one should count. Touchdown, Amanda-Clearcreek. Aces strike first.
Brian, that's that shovel pass that we saw early in the game. It worked out that time. They kept away from the holding penalty there. But, you know, it's so tough to defend because you kind of commit, and you see Dan Hockensmith, he's looking at the quarterback. He thinks he's got a sack there, and that running back just kind of folds under the line there. Almost looks like a screen, but it's not. Gets that shovel pass in and goes the distance.
So Tommy Stai, who had an 89-yarder wiped out a couple of possessions back, gets a little bit of sweet redemption here as he's into the end zone for the first points of the night. PAT is up. It is through. And with 11 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in second quarter action, it's Amanda-Clearcreek taking a 7-0 advantage.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Deep kick here following the touchdown by Amanda-Clearcreek. Now leading on the road as Will Wetzel returns back for Lucas. And the Cubs with an opportunity to try to answer back. Here's the touchdown, 19-yard pass as Stai takes that little pitch forward from Logan Stevens. And he does the rest following his blockers.
Yeah, really nice juke move there. Took advantage of the little bit of over pursuit from the right side of Lucas's defensive line. And that's why that, you know, kind of shovel pass is so difficult. You know, it's tough to defend because you go overcommit and you think you've got a sack, you think you got a loss, and boom, next thing you know, you're getting juked out of your shoes.
Cubs attack left side. Hockensmith carrying a couple of would-be tacklers with him.
Dylan Dyer on the stop for Amanda-Clearcreek.
Hard nose running right here, just keeping the engine roaring. High knees. And he's able to skate forward for a pickup of 6 on first down.
6 yards in a cloud of dust.
Second down and about 4 for the Cubs.
Not a lot of dust to be had out on this field. Well manicured here in Lucas.
Yeah, it does look really nice.
Yes, they've got that natural grass. Great to go walk around out there. It's a phenomenal playing surface. And with the new lights, you can actually see what you're doing out here. That's how Winters is able to bring it in for a Lucas Cub first down. First pass of the night by Bobby Grover. It hits the mark into enemy territory.
Yeah, props to Bobby Grover here. He gets to his, looks like his second read there and just pops it right over the linebackers and makes it happen. It's so tough to have a running offense, and every once in a while your coach asks you to throw those passes, and boy, it kind of magnifies their importance a little bit.
Got to be able to try to keep the defense off balance as he'll try the near side here and shoots. And he'll get ripped down basically at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run.
On the carry for the Cubs. Bodie Elder on the stop.
Bodie Elder with the tackle, the junior.
Yeah, maybe just a poor choice of running lane there. I think he might have had a lane on the outside there with the seal block by Dan Hockensmith on the outside. But you live and learn. At least he kept hold of the ball.
Hockensmith will be the deep back. Giegel to the near side. They'll bring Anschutz in motion. And they'll try to run it with Dan. And he gets gobbled up almost immediately.
Dan Hockensmith on the carry.
Really well done by number 68 there. He got through his block. And Dan's not an easy guy to bring down, as we've seen all year long.
Definitely not. Take a look at our keys to victory presented by 89 Homes. Building homes, earning trust. And for Lucas, these are my keys here. You got to force some third downs. playing against an opponent that also likes to keep it on the ground. And then stay ahead of the sticks, Jeremy. That's got to be an MO for Lucas every season, every game. You want to try to keep it manageable for your offense out here instead of trying to throw it on third down. But Grover's going to do that, and he'll have a connection with Giegold. Drops the shoulder, and he carries a tackler inside the 35 for another Holman Kitchen Supply first down.
Brian, this is something we haven't seen all year. Lucas is having quite a bit of success tonight so far with them passes. You see Grover with that nice little shake and bake there. Gets it to Giegold and pushes it across, gets those chains moving.
Coming into tonight, Lucas had only thrown for 123 yards all season, most of that coming in week 1 on the road, where they had to go to Pennsylvania. They won against Willard by just attempting 1 pass 2 weekends back. And I don't know that they connected on a pass against Calvert last Saturday night either. So this is a good sign here for Bobby Grover and the offense. You like seeing him moving around, and certainly I think that's going to be a strength when he can get outside of the tackle box on these throws to give him that opportunity that if he needs to take off, Jeremy, you know, it doesn't feel like he's got to just drop straight back and be a statue back there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know the coaching staff's got some confidence in his moves because you see him back there fielding punts.
Just an overall weapon. Bobby Grover now in his senior season. He'll toss it this time to Brady, and the freshman able to burst down the sideline. Nice gain.
Brady Giegold on the carry.
I think Winter's got away with a hold there, but the refs didn't see it. It didn't happen, right?
Dyer on the stop.
And you think about this backfield and what could be here in a couple of years. Anschutz, just a freshman. Giegold, the sophomore. They will lose their bruiser in Hockensmith. But the cabinet, it's always just chocked full of potential running threats for the Lucas Cubs.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're going to be scary here in a couple of years, I think.
Giegold comes in motion. They'll fake to him. Grover eating up. Dylan Dyer read it all the way. Was not fooled. Drop him down to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, and there's another example of the defensive front for Amanda-Clearcreek. They're just getting through the blocks, and you see 3 guys kind of get through their blocks there. It's as a quarterback, it's tough to get any yardage when you have 3 guys staring you down.
We saw Lucas punt from the 38 on their previous possession. Offense stays out here now from the 34. They'll come out in the gun. Twins to the right. Grover rolls that way. Dyer with pressure, backside. Bobby fires, and it'll fall incomplete. Ace's defense gets it done with the turnover on downs.
Yeah, and that's almost a coverage sack there, Brian. Bobby just really didn't have anywhere to go with the ball, and he kind of got to his last read there and tossed it, but at least he didn't throw a turnover there. You know, that's one of those situations where you can try to do too much as a quarterback, and it gets into the wrong hands on the defense there, and you could be looking at something returned.
Our keys to victory tonight for Amanda-Clearcreek. How about a 2-dimensional attack? You got to mix up the offense, give them something to think about. They've done that so far with that little shovel pass and then crowd the box. If you can force Lucas into those passing situations like we just saw, Grover hit on his first couple, but that's not really the bread and butter for this offense. If they can do both of those things, it's going to be a successful night for the Aces.
Yeah, Lucas's passing game is at its best when it's not expected.
6:28 remaining here in the opening half. Aces with a 1-touchdown lead. They'll put it in the hands of Nick Holland this time. Different ball carrier.
Jacob
allowing Martin to lead the way. Fowler hoping to set the edge. And that'll open things up. Gain of 6.
Nick Winters on the stop for the Cubs.
Yeah, that's kind of a luxury on first down there, Brian. You get it to second and kind of short, and really opens up your playbook.
Stevens comes under center. He'll fake to the up man option here on the near side. He'll keep it himself and takes a hard knock at the end. but not before he picks up a home and kitchen supply. First down out across the 45.
And pretty good read there, both by the offense and the defense. You know, that's a tough one to defend. And you see the number 21 there for Lucas defense. He does a really good job of taking away the pitch man, which is what your responsibility is as the outside guy there. But Stevens makes a good decision. He keeps it, and he gets the first down.
Clock running, under 5.5 minutes to go here before we reach the break. Flag flies pre-snap.
Looks like it's going to be an encroachment call here.
So we'll go against the Cubs. And we'll get Amanda-Clearcreek just on the other side of enemy territory. Aces break the huddle. Two receivers up to the top of your screen. Fowler in the slot. He'll fake that way. Now Stevens loads up, goes deep. Broken up at the last moment. Solid coverage on the backside. And the Cubs and Mason Giegold come up with the stop.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play, Brian. If he doesn't get that hand in there, this is going for 6, and Lucas is looking at a nightmare scenario. No pun intended here in October.
You can have those puns, man. It's spooky season.
Who am I kidding? I love a good pun.
Bobby Grover on the coverage for the Cubs.
Amazing. Went for a walk today in and around my neighborhood, and everybody's starting to feel that spirit. Still early. Got about 4 weeks before Halloween, but it is in full force, as is this run straight up the middle. Goes for about 3.5 yards, and it'll make it a manageable third down situation for Stevens in the offense. Just pounding ahead here. Tommy Stai coming off the touchdown run on the previous drive.
Winners on the stop for the Cubs.
Will be officially a gain of 4.
It's going to be a third and kind of a long one here, Brian. Looks like they're going to go. They've called a shovel pass on third down a couple times tonight. Looks like an inside trap here.
Martin lunges ahead. He'll have the first down and a little bit more. As the Chang gang on the move, and the Aces offense continues to trudge down the field. 4:18 remaining here in the second. And that little fake toss to the outside to Tommy Stai did just enough to freeze those linebackers, opening things through the middle for Martin.
And that's what that pro-style offense does for you. You have the 2 backs in the back. You can bang it up the middle. You can get it to the outside. And you can also kind of fake that toss and run that trap. And you can really get in some trouble if you're a defensive lineman.
Stevens contacted basically right from the jump. Late flag comes in. I think the penalty will be after the final whistle, as some lids have been lost out there. See trotting over to the sideline is Mason Williams without his hat.
Not sure what that flag's for exactly, but I did see kind of some hands to the face in the pile there. Guy's helmet popped off, like you said, and a lot of times that's going to indicate a little face mask.
And it will be a dead ball penalty and a personal foul here against Lucas. So it was a nice play by the Cubs as they suffocate him in the middle. And then the flag came in right there.
Yeah, a little, not necessarily extracurricular activity, but maybe a little later than you'd want if you were a Lucas coach. And Brian, after looking at that replay, it looked like Stevens wanted to pull that ball out, and I don't think he was very satisfied with his read there because he did have a lane on the left side to the outside.
Penalty draws up another first down play. Fowler with the grab on the near side. And he'll rattle his way down the sideline close to first down yardage.
Pass is complete to Branson Fowler.
I think Branson's going to be about half yard shy.
Ray Cottle on the stop for the Cubs.
Brian, that is a really, really smart play call on first down here. You got the clock ticking down. You don't have much to lose. You're kind of closing the gap here with the end zone. And if you remember, they kind of faked that pass there and went deep earlier.
Off the carry on second and short. Holland rips through a couple of arm tackles, and he'll stop the clock. 2:58 showing. Another Holman Kitchen Supply first down as they break into the red zone yet again.
Yeah, really good run up the middle. Lucas doing a not so great job of tackling here on this drive. We've seen it a couple times, some broken tackles leading to a little bit extra. You like to see that, the rack, the run after contact there, and it's tough. You know, Lucas kind of shooting themselves in the foot with the poor tackling and the penalties.
They'll fake it, inside trap now. Here comes a falter. And the senior puts his head down and pushes forward for about 5 yards here. So can still get a first down, I think, if they get to the half-yard line, Jeremy. So don't have to get into the end zone necessarily.
Yeah, pretty good read there by Ray Caudill coming off of the edge and making that tackle in the middle.
7-yard line.
Officially a gain of 4 there. As the clock rolls, approaching 2 minutes, they'll take the snap right at it, and they'll pitch it outside. Martin. And he'll get laid down by Ray Caudill.
Bodie Martin on the carry.
It's going to be right around the 3-yard line, so they can still move the chains inside of the 2. Crucial right here for both the offense to try to take a 2-score commanding lead, and for Lucas back on their heels defensively. Love to get a big stop here on homecoming night. 90 seconds remaining here before we get to the half.
Yeah, really big play here in the grand scheme of things in this game.
Ooh. Martin absolutely trucked off the edge. That was Winters that came in. Delivered a nasty blow. And I think he shook himself up.
Yeah, might have gave himself a stinger there.
Bodie Martin on the carry.
We'll slow this down right at the point of impact. I mean, reads it and then boom!
Bringing the hit stick.
So no gain on the play. Ball marked right around the 4-yard line. Again, they can get to the half-yard line and pick up a first down. But they're going to let the clock run as far as it can go. The play clock showing 2. They'll burn a timeout. And with 37 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, we'll get our first TO of the night, which allows me an opportunity to jump into the comment section, see what you guys are up to out there.
Cross-country team will be back in action tomorrow.
I want to say hi to Doug Shasky, one of our big Lucas supporters out here. Michael David Stolzfuss also cheering on the Cubs, as is Debbie Hammond. Patty Amons, Corey Wetzel says, "Let's go Cubs." And in parentheses, Austin. Brad Howell cheering on Lucas, as is Connie Cofferty, Daniel Stotts, Jace Biggs, Aaron Nicewander, a whole collection of Lucas fans out there, including Renee Russell, Chambry. Thank you guys for all the comments.
Close out the season with 2 more victories. Good luck to our Lady Cubs.
And on the live chat over on the Facebooks, Zachary Almendinger says, "Go Cubs." Good luck to the seniors.
Time to get your 50-50 tickets before halftime tonight, folks. Make sure you get your 50-50 tickets.
Big play coming up here, Jeremy. It's going to be 4th down. 3 yards, can move the chains. 3.5 gets them into the end zone. My anticipation is the offense will stay out there, but a field goal, of course, gives you a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if that might be the right call here too, Brian, bringing the field goal unit in, but it does look like they got the offense out there, and they're going to go.
They do indeed. They'll split the backfield. Fulter to the right, and over to the left in a 3-point stance is Martin. They'll hand it off. Bodie left side, reaching for the zone, and the referee says he's in there. 13-zip. Amanda-Clearcreek with a big 4th down touchdown.
That's a crusher, Brian. You really hate to give up that down and that distance. Backed up against your own end zone. You'd love to get a stop in front of your student section over there, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Show it to you guys one more time. You see crowding the line are the Cubs. A lot of bodies over on that left side, a bit unbalanced defensively. So they attack the left, And it pays off. Martin into the end zone. So those pocket aces, that backfield of Martin and Stai, have each combined for a big score so far here tonight. PAT pure. That'll extend the lead out to 14. Show you that touchdown run one more time on our TMS Plus digital marketing replay. Digital marketing for local businesses.
14, your Lucas Cubs 0.
And Brian, 33 seconds to go in this half. Not much time for Lucas to respond, especially with the way their offense runs. If you're Amanda-Clearcreek, you just got to make sure you don't give up the big one. And I think you'll get into this half with a 14-0 lead. And maybe that's a lead I don't think they really expected.
Been playing in a lot of tight games so far this season. 2 of their losses by a combined 4 points so far, including last week. Kind of a devastating loss on the road at Hamilton Township, where 25-24 the final score there on the road. They had a couple opportunities in the fourth quarter to drive down and take the lead and just could not. The previous week, too, needed to come from behind against Circleville in a 36-33 victory. But still searching for their first W away from the friendly confines.
Well, they put themselves in a pretty good position here. If they can get the ball back at halftime and kind of burn some clock, they're going to really be looking good.
We're going to get an illegal formation here on the kick as Hayden Dunn booms it deep. But it'll be offsides. They'll back it up 5 yards. And with 33 seconds, a big return here for Lucas. Might change your mind about trying to get a bit more aggressive on the offensive side of things. Bobby Grover is 2 for 3 through the air so far tonight.
Yeah, and he's made a couple pretty good reads, too. I think they might be feeling pretty confident in his arm right now. If I'm not mistaken, Brian, this is his first year for Bobby starting at quarterback, and you know, sometimes there's some growing pains, especially when you're a little bit maybe undersized, but you know, he's a hard-nosed kid, and he's not going to give up easy. He's going to learn where he can, and maybe that's kind of where he's going to find his groove here lately.
Nice kick as Weitzel takes it, throws one man aside. Here goes Will. And Will spun down after he gets out across the 40-yard line. So a solid return. It does burn 9 seconds off the clock.
Gets it out near the Cub 43.
But it at least gives the Cubs a chance here with all 3 timeouts. Try to get something going. They'll receive the ball to begin the third quarter as well. So chance to build some momentum here if you're Lucas, but also sometimes tragedy can strike too, Jeremy, in these type of situations.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. You would hate to have a back-breaking fumble or a pick right here. You know, maybe getting a little too antsy with the ball, maybe. You'd really hate to give that up, maybe have a return, or, you know, we've seen Stevens. He's got a little bit of an arm. He can put it up there.
They'll just come out in the double wing type formation. Grover fakes it, spins, he throws deep, and a lot of contact early. Oh, the referee's not going to throw it.
Wow.
He shook his head no as though he didn't see any contact. Jimmy Sweat absolutely lost his mind. I would too. I'm going to run this back. The official got this wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. This is clear early contact. I'm not sure what he was looking at there.
So no ball, and then boom.
Yeah, that's tough. Crowd's definitely not happy with it. I think everybody's got a reason to complain on this side of the field.
Yeah, we'll show it one more time. The toughest part is that the referee is right next to the play. Hate critiquing officials. Been doing a phenomenal job here tonight. But
absolutely.
That one, very obvious.
Yep.
I'm surprised that one of his friends didn't step up and say, you know what? Actually did kind of maul him there.
Yeah, that's tough, and that would have kind of been a complexion changer for the last little bit of this half here, Brian. They would have been looking at something maybe right around the 40-yard line on the other side of the field. That could have opened up a plethora of possibilities.
So instead, with just 16 ticks on the clock, Cubs break the huddle. They'll do 3 wide. 2 to the top of your screen. Giegold comes in motion. Grover rolls that way, wants to throw, pressure coming. Now he'll break the pocket and throw. And he's got a completion at the 41-yard line. Giegold with the snag.
Yeah, and credit Giegold, he kind of found that soft spot in the defense after Bobby had to kind of roll out and get out of the pocket there.
Immediately gets out of bounds.
You love to see that as a quarterback. Guys that can, you know, find those dirty yards after some backyard football.
9 seconds remain. Cubs with all 3 timeouts. They'll burn one right here. So Lucas, still a chance for about 2 more plays, especially with the timeouts. You can throw it right over the middle of the field, potentially try to pick up 10, 15 yards, Jeremy, and then huck one to the end zone, or who knows what they have drawn up. I've seen quite a few Lucas miracles in the past.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've seen it all at this field. You know, and speaking of the deep pass, Brian, I was watching before the game, just kind of checking out Bobby and watching him warm up, and he was chucking them a good 30, 35 yards with some accuracy. So I know it's in the realm of possibilities, but they're really going to have to get kind of an ideal situation in the defensive secondary, because the Aces, they're doing a really good job of sticking close to the receivers.
Want to invite you to stick around for our halftime band show presented by 89 Homes. We at least know the Lucas band is going to perform. I'm not sure if Amanda-Clearcreek brought one tonight. Actually, no, yeah, I see over on the far side. They're here.
Yeah, and actually, Brian, before the game, they did play the national anthem with Lucas's band, and it went really well.
So we'll have that coming up. First 9 seconds of football remaining. Grover's going to chuck it deep. Giegold with a step, and it's just overthrown. Incomplete with 2 seconds to go.
Yeah, and right there, Brian, that's probably about the limit of Grover's range. He's throwing from that far hash, throwing to the opposite side of the field, and just a little bit long there. But I like where Lucas's head is at. You know, they they're not afraid to air it out. They're not afraid to take some chances. You know, I know they're only down 14-0, but you got to think that Coach Sweat's thinking, you know, we want to get something here if we can.
Well, Ed and Denise Finley certainly think so. They say, let it fly, Bobby. Corey Wenzel tuning in, cheering on Austin Wells and company.
I think that might be old Coach Finley from the wrestling program, if I'm not mistaken, Brian.
Zachary Almendinger watching while on vacation in the villages of Florida. Glad that you could tune in tonight, hopefully with a nice cold drink in your hand, toes in the sand. And the local fatty says Pocket Aces loves it. Just got back from playing some Hold'em. I did not play any Hold'em. I just got back from Las Vegas, but saw plenty of aces, very few of them tag teamed with a 10 to give me a blackjack though, Jeremy.
Well, Brian, if you'll take a look out on the field here, you're going to see 11 aces between the lines.
Plenty of them out there. Grover, pressured, steps up, trying to escape, now zings it, but just not enough behind it, as that will take us to the end of the first half. 14-0 Amanda-Clearcreek coming on the road, looking to spoil homecoming night for Lucas, who will get the ball back to start the third quarter. We'll step aside. We'll be back with our 89 Homes halftime reports, along with the halftime band show. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
band. Going up.
And now, entering the field for their halftime performance, under the direction of Miss Katie Johnson, your Lucas Cubs Marching Band. Our first show this year is all about the band that took the world by storm back in the 1960s and defined an era, the Beatles. Our tribute to the Beatles begins with the hit Twist and Shout. This rock and roll classic is one you'll instantly know. Groove to the beat as we play Twist and Shout.
And up!
Our final song was recorded in 1964, and this classic tune was featured in the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night. Jam along with us as the band finishes with Can't Buy Me Love. And now, Cubs fans, join us as we play the Lucas High School fight song. The Lucas Cubs Marching Band would like to thank you for your continued support of our music program. Our students work extremely hard and they are proud to share their music with you. Go Cubs!
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
Let's go.
It's halftime at Bob Wine Field, homecoming night, and right now the home team sitting on a goose egg as Amanda-Clearcreek has come into town and taken a 14-0 advantage. I'm Brian Skowronski. Jeremy Peoples is with me, and this game we knew was going to be pretty quick. Two teams really love keeping it on the ground. Lucas has had their moments. They've been able to drive down the field. A big, costly turnover on the doorstep where they fumbled inside of the 5-yard line, and the Aces have cashed in with a pair of touchdown runs to lead it by a couple of scores, Jeremy. But I think this game, pretty much as predicted, if Lucas would have been able to break in there, get into the scorebook, we anticipated probably a low-scoring game, two teams fundamentally sound, and so far we've gotten that. Just a couple of mistakes, one on each side, but Lucas maybe a bit more costly.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of the game within the game. You know, Lucas, they shot themselves in the foot in the one drive, and that really, it kind of threw a wrench in their plans. You can see they got a little bit off schedule, but they almost were able to punch it in down here at the very end of the half. I thought they were going to get it, but now they're looking at a 14-0 deficit, so I think they're really keen to get out here in the second half and get something started early.
They will get the ball first and a chance to try to get some good juju going offensively as you take a look here at the schedule for Lucas. And started off with a big win on the road at Smethport when they had to travel near Philadelphia. Then back-to-back losses against two really quality teams. Hillsdale still undefeated. Smithville 4-2 at this point right now in the year. Got a victory over Warrensville Heights on the road. A tough, hard-fought win over a team that's still struggling And then we thought that they were about to turn the corner, Jeremy, with that win here at home a couple of weeks back against Willard. Only put it up through the air one time. It was typical Lucas football. They just stuffed it down their throats. And then the letdown on Saturday against Calvert, and potentially not necessarily a hangover per se, but a little bit of a carryover here into tonight, where they had the bad mistake down on the doorstep trying to score and tie things up, or actually take the lead at that point, and just haven't been able to shake it off just yet.
No, but they're going to come out here in the second half, and you got to think, like I mentioned earlier in the game, you got to think Coach Sweat's going to have them kind of changing strategy a little bit, maybe not overall, but they're going to look to make some adjustments, and Lucas does that really well, and we've seen it week in, week out. You know, regardless of what's going on in the first half, they're going to come out, they're going to make adjustments, they're going to have some success of some kind, and it kind of remains to be seen as far as how they're going to be able to respond, as far as Amanda-Clearcreek's defense will respond to this offense.
Brody Elder out to meet Bobby Grover, the two captains at midfield. Cubs, of course, going to get the football, and they'll be headed in the opposite direction. Here's what they're looking at right now through 6 weeks of the high school football season. Very much in the playoff picture at the number 11 spot. 3-3 overall on the season. A win, though, here tonight over a team in Division 5 would very much likely put them, as you look at the points, into a position where they'll probably be in that 7 or 8 spot, Jeremy, and competing for a home playoff game. So there's a lot of marbles on the table and some chips to be captured by the Cubs here in the second half if they can get it done.
Yeah, and we got to look at their upcoming schedule here. They got a few teams that I don't want to necessarily say they're bad teams, but they're going to have a chance to respond, and you know, they would really, really like to beat this Amanda-Clearcreek team, obviously. You always want to beat the team that's in front of you, but North Central, Lakota, Whiteford coming up here, those are winnable games for Lucas, and you'd like to see them kind of take that 4-game win streak into the playoffs, and heck, you get into that postseason, anything can happen.
And we've seen that from Lucas last couple of seasons. Last year getting in below 500 and won a couple of games. And for Amanda-Clearcreek, the Aces, coming off that tough loss we talked about against Hamilton Township, a big win over Circleville, had to come back in that game. And really the only time that they've been out of it this season at Bloom Carroll, where they end up losing by 25 points. But you see a lot of close games outside of that, Jeremy. So this is a squad that they're accustomed to grinding it out at the end of the game. They've been able to pull out a couple of them, been on the bad end last week and then in week 1 against Lyndon McKinley.
Yeah, and next week, Brian, they're going to have Logan Elm, and that's going to be a really tough game for them. I don't see them really pulling off that miracle. You never know. On a Friday night, anything can happen, but they would really like to get this win because they're probably looking at going at best 2-1 the rest of the way. And, you know, they've got some aspirations in the postseason too, but, again, we'll see how it shakes out.
Set to kick off for Amanda-Clearcreek.
That will wrap up our 89 Homes halftime reports,
for the Cubs,
where they're building homes, earning trust since 1979. This one booted deep off the right toe of Hayden Dunn, taken right at the goal line. And a decent return by Weitzel. Stops short, actually, of the 20.
Dunn's got a heck of a leg, doesn't he, Brian?
Yes, he does. And put it right where he wants it. You don't want to put it out of the back of the end zone if you can, so that was fielded approximately where you would want it to be if you're the coaching staff or that kicker, to put it on the 1-yard line and force a long field, which is the case here for Lucas, officially spotted at the 18.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Lucas responds here. You know, they had some uncomfortable conversations in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, they'll try the middle. Dyer and company come in there to blow things up as Giegold trots through for maybe a pickup of 2.
First one to hit him. Gain of 2 on the play. Second down, 8.
So it'll be a long second down coming up here for the Lucas offense, who got off to a great start. Short field, caused a fumble on just the second play from scrimmage. And they were able to work their way down inside the 5-yard line before they coughed it up. This time the toss, the inside give. Great gap assignment It's Dyer again, and he blows this one up as Enstad's just nowhere to go on the outside. It's third down.
Brian, you got to believe if Lucas is going to get back in this game, it's going to have to happen in the trenches first, because Amanda-Clearcreek's defensive front has done a really good job shedding those blocks, and you see that right there, number 73. He shakes that block, just kind of throws a guy off of him, gets some penetration, and makes the tackle.
Behind the sticks now, loss of 2. Might have to put the ball in the hands of Bobby Grover. 5 pass attempts in the first half. And he'll maneuver out to his right. He'll toss it up. And it's over the outstretched arms of the intended target, Zach Winters. Flag, though, on the field.
Yeah, that's in the area of holding, Brian. And if you're Lucas, that is the last thing that you want here.
You would anticipate this penalty would be declined, and they'll force the Cubs into a 4th down situation. That will be the case.
Brian, I'm kind of surprised that they would decline that, though. The way that their defense has been playing, and especially the secondary, Lucas hasn't really been able to get any separation with their receivers. And you know, I kind of expected them to accept that, have Lucas put it on the ground or up in the air again, and maybe force something. And well, again, I guess anything can happen.
Would have been about an 8-yard penalty half the distance to the goal as this punt shaked. Takes a fortuitous Cubs hop, but it'll be a very short field coming up as Logan Stevens in the offense will begin just 37 yards away from Pater.
Yeah, and now we're kind of looking at that nightmare scenario for Lucas. Can't get anything going in that first drive, and now they're giving a short field to Amanda-Clearcreek. It almost looked like that might have gotten blocked too, Brian. I didn't see much hubbub out of the Aces in the backfield there, but it came off kind of weird. So shank, block, the result's the same, short field for the Aces.
They'll come out with the 2-back set. They'll fake the toss, inside give. It's Martin. And right into the teeth of the defense. Cubs chew him up. No gain.
Yep, once again, another really good read by Ray Caudill. He's kind of had a quietly good game, and he gets through that gap. He saw that trap lineman coming through. He read it. He popped into the hole, and he made him pay.
Ray Caudill now in his senior season, kind of the featured linebacker out there playing that inside role. Really put on a lot of size too. I mean, this kid a gym rat, over 200 pounds now.
Yeah, a heck of a wrestler too.
They'll fake it. Oh, it's a heck of a fake as Stevens bursts up the middle, and he will speed for a gain of 6. Make a 3rd down and manageable.
Yet another good read here by Stevens. And you saw that Lucas player, number 51, not sure who that is, but he knew he got fooled on that. He made the wrong read on that quarterback. And, you know, that's just the way that it goes. That triple option, it makes you make a decision as a defensive player, and sometimes you make the wrong one.
They'll need about 5. Stevens back to pass, looking left, comes back right, got a man deep, and he's got his man down to the 1-yard line. Catch made out of the backfield by Bodie Martin.
Yep, good throw, good catch. Got a little bit of separation. I think Stevens might have surprised himself with how good that pass was there, but we've seen him do it a couple times tonight. He put this ball in a really good position.
Looks off the safety, and you see him come back. Drops the dime right in the bucket. And shout out Bodie making that grab out of the backfield for a pickup of about 30.
Yeah, really good catch. But, Brian, I just want to highlight the line that ball was on. He had good trajectory on it, and, you know, not much you're going to do as a defensive player.
The defense, though, stands tall down here on the goal line. Might have even lost a half-yard here on that attempt. So let's go back to that pass one more time. The lefty, Stevens, putting it right where he wants to. Jeremy wants to take a look at that arc. It even goes off of the screen. Nice little rainbow, makes it nice and soft, cushiony for the receiver to get underneath it.
Yeah, and what I'm getting at with that trajectory, Brian, is it's on a line, but it's got enough touch that you're not putting it in a position where that defensive player can get a hand on it. Really well done.
Martin gets the toss near side and undercut. 3 Cubs there waiting for him. Winner's the first as he submarined him down low to bring up 3rd down. They've gone backwards 3 yards here in the last couple of plays.
Yeah, Winters with a good read there and maybe a missed blocking assignment. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm not sure you want to leave that corner, especially one like Winters, kind of free to go after the running back there.
Big opportunity on both sides, especially for Lucas. Try to get that defense off the field. Stevens straight back to pass, airs it out, and it's overthrown. Heavy contacts. Look like Westoven was wrapped up in coverage, and it's incomplete.
Westoven's looking for a flag there, but I think that might have been just a little miscommunication. It looked like he was coming inside. Stevens was expecting him to go outside a little bit. But, hey, if they can get a field goal out of this, it's not going to be a wasted trip for him. And, again, kind of nightmare scenario for Lucas. You don't want to give up a score on this very first drive when they have the ball.
That was Tim Daly on the coverage. Think you're right, probably a misread. But a chance to go up 3 scores. Snap is down, hold is good. And that will tack on 3. So Amanda-Clearcreek extends their cushion here. On the made field goal. Booted through by Hayden Dunya. Complimented the leg strength. He's got the accuracy there as well.
Yeah, I love some good special teams plays. Kickers are kind of like I don't want to say my favorite player on the field, but I love giving them props. They don't often get a lot of love, but he's a good one.
5-7-1. 7-0.
So Lucas, a lot of work to do. 7-10 still remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
9-9.
Done with the short field goal.
$17 in winnings.
Extending the lead.
Near the entryway.
And for Lucas, it's now 6 straight quarters without getting on the board. Desperately looking for something to go well here offensively for him. On homecoming night, packed house here, and I love how many former players, a lot of alumni here in the building. Saw Logan Toms, homecoming king from last year, handing off the crown. Bunch of others here in attendance, graduates from last year. Saw Andrew Finello here too.
Boy, speaking of Logan Toms, Brian, how much fun was it last year watching him and Big Dan go after these defenses? I mean, they were just a 1-2 punch that couldn't be matched.
Again, the kickoff for Amanda-Clearcreek.
A little bit different, more explosive Lucas offense last season.
Absolutely.
Still got some weapons, just some young ones, and it's a wow. How about that? Onside kick. I wanted to say a fake kick, but nothing fake about it. That wasn't very real. Cubs, though, able to get on top of it. Heads up play by Charlie Reed. Check this out, guys.
Yeah, Charlie makes a really nice, no pun intended, read on this ball. He saw it. Slides through. Kind of looks like an outfielder there.
Yeah, you don't see too many dudes sporting the number 78 on their uniform that can come in and make a play like that.
No.
So, big bonus for Lucas as they're in plus territory now from the Aces 48-yard line. It might be exactly what the doctor would prescribe right now for Lucas. A short field to look out here with the offense kind of muttering along a little bit. On 1st and 10. They'll toss it. And just not a lot of room there for Tim Daly. Tackled on the play there by Boston Fowler and company.
Yeah, nice job getting off of that block. And
Boston Fowler.
I think is that the first time Daly's touched the ball tonight?
No gain on the play. 2nd down.
That's Bobby Grover out there throwing the block, and that's a tough ask for a quarterback. I know that's how their offense works, but it's a tough ask to have him go out there and throw a consistent block for the 3 seconds that it's going to take to spring that.
Maybe a pickup of a half a yard there to start the drive. Aces crowding the box, 10 men up inside there. So they'll work it now. Far side goes Giegold. Looking for an opening.
Brady Giegold, the ball carrier.
Just not a lot. No windows to try to traffic through. So it quickly becomes third down here for the Lucas O.
Brian, I got to think that Amanda-Clearcreek's coach across the way there, he might think that he's got Lucas's offense figured out, because I was kind of questioning that onside kick there, but especially when you got a weapon in a kicker like you do that kid, he's putting it deep, putting it on the 5-yard line consistently. I had a lot of questions, but their defense is kind of showing up here. If you're Lucas, you really need to get something out of this drive.
Need 7 here to get the chain gang on the move. And they'll toss it. Daly able to wiggle through a crease. And gets to the second level. Knocked down by Stevens. Real close to first down yardage. Will depend on the spot.
It looks like they're going to mark it a 4th down. I don't love that spot. It looked like he got a little bit more than that.
But it's all about this move right here. Puts his left foot in and just whoop, bursts through.
4th and 1 for the Cubs.
And you're right, not a fortuitous spot, especially not at home. Here at Bob Wine Field, homecoming night. They're going to force the Cubs to try to earn this one. Need about a half a yard, maybe the length of a football. This is where RPO really comes into play.
Absolutely.
The motion Giegold, hammer it straight up the middle, and it's the hammer. Dan Hockensmith, he's still not done. Driving forward for a home and kitchen supply. First down after the 35-yard line. Pick up a 4.
Yeah, so game within the game, like I was talking about, Brian, you're pounding the outside. You have a little bit of success outside, and that's when that opens up the middle there. It's a little bit of give and take on defense.
So some extra yards churned out by the senior Dan Hockensmith. With a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Cubs toss it. Giegold cuts back inside. Tripped up, dives forward, and able to still gain 4 yards on the down.
Well blocked on that play right there, Brian. You saw the right side of the line get some push, and you saw a little over penetration right there. I think that's big Dan Hockensmith pushing somebody 3, 4, 5 yards back behind the line of scrimmage.
6 for the Cubs from the Aces.
Sub 4 minutes remaining in a fast-moving third quarter. This just the second offensive possession for Lucas. Looking to trim this down to a 2-score game. Giegold gets jackknifed right in the teeth of the defense. And he'll maybe pick up 1.
And that's another one, Brian, that was well blocked, but Amanda-Clearcreek kind of sniffed that one out at the second level, and linebackers were there to make the play.
3rd down 5 for the Cubs.
Grover brings in the play. Got to imagine this is 4-down territory from the 30.
Absolutely.
It's a 3rd down and 5. Clock melting down right around 3 minutes as they have the inside give. Daly spinning out of trouble and out of the cycle.
Daly, the ball carrier.
Real close to what he needs again. I think he's going to be marked shy again.
Yeah, that was a really good move.
Dylan Dyer on the stop.
Just didn't quite get enough, but that's a good play there. Lucas's offense, I don't want to say they're exactly rolling, but they're having a little more success than that first drive, and we'll see if they can push through here. This is a crucial 4th down. They've got to get some points on this drive.
They gave it to Hockensmith straight ahead last time, and he was able to power for a gain of 4. And they'll do exactly the same here. This time Hockensmith bursts away, somehow gets out of the crowd from the scrum, and they'll take it 26 yards in through the fireworks. Lucas on the board.
Dan Hockensmith, 25-yard touchdown run.
What a carry by Big Dan. I think that might have surprised him a little bit. He got tangled up there on the left side of the line, and he stayed on his feet, kept the legs churning, and he got into the end zone. That's exactly what Lucas needs here in this second half.
Homecoming fireworks just hit a little bit different. Dan Hockensmith looked like he'd be left dead to rights. Roadkill on the side of the road.
The point after
able to escape. Houdiniac Now you see him in the end zone for 6. Extra point pushed wide, so the score will remain 17-6, though Lucas gets a big play from one of their seniors. Hockensmith rumbles into the end zone to make it a 2-possession game.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Lucas Cubs are on the board here at Bob Wine Field. It's just a 2-score game now, and plenty of time remaining. 2 minutes, 12 seconds here in quarter number 3. Brian Skowronski with you on the call alongside Jeremy Peoples. Double duty tonight. How about this guy running camera and talking to you folks out there? Oh, it's muffed, but looks like Amanda-Clearcreek was able to get on it. Last 2 kickoffs have been of the shorter variety. It was a more defiant onside kick from the Aces, I think from Lucas. This is just kind of more their style. And it will be Amanda-Clearcreek football. Check this out one more time. See the initial catch right off the chest. Then the Aces heads up play to dive on top to maintain the possession before momentum would be fully in swing with the Cubs.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. We've definitely seen Lucas's kickoff team do that a few times this year. I think that one maybe didn't have the end result that they've wanted, but that's probably about the best one that I've seen them, put out there. That was the proper distance. It was the proper height. The timing was just a little bit off, but hey, it doesn't hurt to take a chance.
Stevens under center, hands off. They'll try the right side. A lot of bodies falling forward as the scrum ends with a gain of 4. Tommy Stai hasn't been featured heavily here as of late, but he's got the carry that time.
Yeah, he had a good-looking first quarter, but we haven't called his name much here these last couple quarters.
Their own 40-yard line.
Coming into the game, Stai, 111 attempts, 656 yards, and 6 touchdowns, leads the team in all 3 categories. He'll dot the I here, deep back, and we'll get the toss. Here comes Tommy, left side, through a crease. Flag comes in as he throws a stiff arm and trots out of bounds. It would be enough for a first down, but obviously got to check the penalty.
Yeah, and if that's a hold, that's a killer for Amanda-Clearcreek. They had a couple really nice blocks right there on the hash. Good seal, good kick out.
It is going to be a holding penalty, and it looks like it comes on that left edge there, number 23, Mason Williams, hanging on for dear life against Dan Hockensmith.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do with that guy.
So the penalty comes downfield. It'll wipe out the entire run, actually. They're going to say that it occurred at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 15 coming up. 4 receivers set from the gun. It's muffed. And a shovel pass again. This worked to perfection in the first half. How about more of the same here? Stai lowers the boom at the end of a big gain. 18-yard pickup and a Hoban Kitchen Supply. First down.
Well, that guy's got some acceleration. Holy cow. He went from 0 to 100 out of nowhere.
And that's one of those rare situations where I think the muff snap actually kind of focused everybody onto the quarterback. Everybody burst through. the intention, of course, there from Amanda-Clearcreek's perspective, and then Tommy Stai, the recipient, did the rest. Nice run.
From their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brian. It kind of froze that front seven for Lucas there, and I think they saw that, their eyes lit up, and maybe got a little too hungry.
So a new set of downs from the 48. Another nice fake. Boy, Logan Stevens has been a magician.
Down the left sideline.
Got his Chris Angel on in the backfield. And now rumbling into Robbie Grover's hands. He'll need a little bit of help. A couple other Cubs combined to help make the stop, but not until after a huge first down run.
And yet another great read on that option, Brian. This kid, he's got great eyes. He's got good vision. He's making the right decisions. There's maybe one that we've seen he might want to have back. That was that one down on the goal line there. But watch this. He sees that end, crashes down, and he makes the right read. He gets it outside, and Lucas is doing a good job of covering that pitch man, which is opening him up right up the hash.
Monster run all the way down to the 7-yard line, and Amanda-Clearcreek very content to allow the last few seconds to melt away off the clock. 17-6, they lead it, and a chance to add to it when we come back. It'll be money time. See you there.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
They provide to our students to get involved.
Shout out to the EMS team here on hand at Bob Wine Field. Homecoming night for the Lucas Cubs with their backs against the wall right now. First and goal on the way for Amanda-Clearcreek after a huge run by their senior quarterback Logan Stevens to get them down here inside of the 10. I'm Brian. Jeremy Peoples with me here tonight. And this huge, of course, for this Lucas defense right now. Jeremy already trailing by 11. Got to be able to try to force them to a field goal attempt if you want a chance here in this ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to get a stop here.
Aces with that double back set. The shake, the bake, the score. Bodie Martin in for the second time tonight.
Bodie Martin takes it in for an Amanda-Clearcreek touchdown.
Didn't take the aces long. They pull one out from under their sleeve yet again.
Yeah, that's tough, Brian. You're going to see him go off tackle here to the left side, and he just he's patient, and he sees the gap open up, and he finds it. And he's had a pretty good game tonight, too.
Second time tasting pay dirt. Had a 3-yard touchdown run right at the end of the second quarter earlier. Done for the PAT, and he cracks it through. So just 6 seconds off the clock here in quarter number 4, and Amanda-Clearcreek strikes. Big touchdown run, extending their lead out to 23-6.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Cubs in an 18-point hole now. 24-6 the count. And Amanda-Clearcreek looking to pick up their first road victory of the season tonight at Bob Wine Field. Lots of time, though, still remaining 11 minutes, 54 seconds. As this one booted deep from Dunn. And scored it through the hands of Weitzel. So it's scooped up now by Anschutz. And he'll only get to about the 17-yard line. That's where we'll see Bobby Grover in the offense for the first time here in quarter number 4. Money time, as we like to call it here on the OH Reports. And if you're Lucas, hopefully you brought a big deposit here for this last quarter, because they are going to need everything to go their way. Try to come back for a big victory. So if there's any type of gadget plays, I think, hanging in their back pocket, might want to hit them with it early.
Yeah, it's time to emotionally get back in this ball game for Lucas. If they can't do that on these next couple drives here and sustain it, they might be dead in the water.
Nice crease here near side.
That's going to help.
And that's Giegold, the sophomore. And that'll be enough for a Home and Kitchen Supply first down.
On the carry.
Just breaking the chains.
Picks up a cup first down.
As he picks up 10. And Lucas going to go no huddle here as they check the wristbands, trying to savor every moment on the clock that they can. Now to the outside, here's Daly. Giegold might have got away with a little jersey tug on the edge. As Daly scampers out of bounds, clock will stop with 11:10 showing.
Brian, looking at this offense that Lucas is running and considering what it can do to the defense, I think I would like to see them run that no huddle a little bit more. I think they could have some success with that. I mean, they have a fairly limited playbook as it is, and I think, maybe not necessarily for time reasons, clock reasons. I think running a no huddle could just kind of keep the defense guessing and keep them on their toes a little bit more. Don't give them a chance to rest.
We'll see if it's effective here. After no gain on first down, they'll fake the toss out, run it left side. And that'll go for maybe a pickup of 1, Hockensmith.
Dan Hockensmith
knocked down at the second level. 3rd and long coming up here for Grover and the Cubs.
Yeah, Brian, I mentioned it at that last break there. Lucas's offensive line, they look kind of mentally beat.
Able to hold serve here as the pocket moves. Grover!
What a catch.
Nice toss into traffic. And maybe an even better catch pulled in by Daly on the near sideline for a Home and Kitchen Supply first down. We got to run this one back.
Yeah, maybe from a quarterbacking standpoint, he might have hung Daly out there a little bit, but he's the kind of kid that he's just going to go get that ball. He doesn't care. He'll put his body on the line. Wow, what a catch.
Yeah, and how did he sneak that in there as well? Just past an outstretched mitt of the defender.
Brian, what I really liked about that catch was Daly caught it, transferred it to one hand, and stiff-armed the guy without even touching the ground yet.
Impressive stuff. Back-to-back completions now for Grover. Winters whirling out across midfield. It'll be another Cubs first down. And the offense, to your point, Jeremy, looking like they got something going here with this no huddle.
Yep, they're kind of cooking a little bit. They need to keep that Amanda-Clearcreek defensive line on their toes and stop that penetration that they've been getting these the second and third quarters here.
Quickly back up to the line, 10-15 showing. Grover. Oh, gets popped from the backside. Ball is loose. The initial defender, Mason Williams, came through, and I thought Grover was able to slide around him nicely. But then from the backside, boy, big hit, and Amanda-Clearcreek's got the football.
Oh.
Absolute killer here for the Cubs. Just when you thought they had something cooking in the kitchen.
On the field is fumble on the play.
Instead, dessert comes early for the Aces. See, Grover puts his hand down and then boom! Big stick backside.
Yeah, and I'm not going to fault Bobby for that. he's trying to make a play. That's a situation where, as a quarterback, you got to know maybe it's time to just kind of take that sack and, live to fight another down. Again, I'm not going to fault him. As a playmaker, you want to make plays, and you want the ball in your hands, and sometimes you make those decisions, and, late in the game it can really, really be tough on you.
It was Gary Kemmerling coming up with the fumble. The huge stick from Landon Sloan. Blindside there of Bobby Grover, and he's a tough kid, man. Back up out there playing safety. Show it to you one more time.
Yeah, and credit to Sloan for making this play. You can see him on the far side. He gets blocked and shakes his block and comes clear across from the far side to cause that fumble, and does a really good job of just sticking with it.
Meanwhile, back here, first play for the Aces. We'll show it to you one more time. Got to. It's about a 20-yard pickup on first down. From the gun. Another quality fake, and boy, Stevens, that's really been his strong suit tonight.
I'll say it again, Brian, another great read by Stevens. He's made, probably 10 of them tonight, and he's really gashed the Lucas defense. And again, that's another one of those offenses with the triple option. If you don't see it that often, it's difficult to defend. You might spend 4 or 5 days preparing for it before the game, but you're not spending 4 or 5 weeks preparing for it like you are a regular offense that we see in high school.
Straight ahead fullback give. Got to presume this is Martin barreling forward.
And Brian, not to harp too much on the option play there, but one of those other things that helps that option play work is these dives up the middle that are they're catching the hungriness, the hunger of the defense. They want to make that play, and they get a little too invested in either that, or we've seen Amanda-Clearcreek have a little bit of success on that outside toss to the long part of the field. And, that can draw your eye, and it makes you make a decision.
They'll run the play clock down to 8. Straight ahead with the run. And right into the mess.
And Brian, Lucas almost caught a break there. That handoff was a little bit shaky. It looks like he got it a little too high up into his shoulder pads and was kind of bouncing the football around a little bit, but he held on to it and got up the middle. And that's the important part now. I know it's 24-6. We're talking about 3-score game, but those fumbles can really impact the game.
3rd down 6. 8 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in regulation. Another fake.
Oh, my goodness.
The wiggle, the run, down to the 13. Stevens loses his hat. Just wanted to probably show off his face here to the home crowd and let them know, that's me, baby. I'm that dude tonight.
Yeah, he really is. Again, just another great read. And, oh, my gosh, if you're Lucas's defense, and if I'm Lucas's defensive coordinator, that probably should have been one of the things that I talked about, at halftime, is we've got to stop giving up these quarterback runs. Make him pitch it, make him make a play. A lot of things can happen on that pitch. I know it's only a 4, 5, 6-yard pitch, and we've seen them executed on the shovel pass, but you have to make them make the plays.
Just a flat-out wizard with the football tonight. He has ridden out the fake as long as he's needed to each time. And it's certainly taken the Cubs all night to try to figure it out and just have not been able to.
Yeah, and I think it's a good argument to make. It might not be a flashy offense, but it's technically sound.
Fowler's in there now. And I think he lost the football. A new quarterback, no idea why.
Fumble on the play.
It looks like Lucas has pounced on top of it.
Yep, and I think that was Ray Caudill. I'm not 100% sure, Brian, that ripped that out. Somebody was ripping out the ball there. But to your point, new quarterback was in because Stevens lost his hat on that last play. And
that's right.
By rule, he's got to come out. Now let's see who that is. That is senior Ray Caudill. He made a great play ripping at the ball. That's what you do. You stand him up and rip at the ball, and that's really important late in the game here.
So kind of a fluky transfer. Boston Fowler, 6-foot sophomore in there for one down. It's a costly one as it gives Lucas the football back. Still 7 minutes, 36 seconds remaining. Cubs had some success going no huddle on the previous drive until the fumble by Bobby Grover. Try to recapture some of that here.
Yeah, and if you're Bobby, you just got to put that out of your mind because you know with 7.5 on the board, you're going to be called on to make some plays, and you can't be thinking about that hit and fumble.
We're going to get a timeout. Cubs want to talk things over. And so we'll see what you guys are talking about out there. See, LC says a bunch of bells times 8. I'm not sure what that means, Jeremy. Can you decode that?
You know, I'm not with the hip lingo these days, Brian, but I'm not even going to take a stab at that one.
Yeah, I've got young kids too. I've never heard them hit me with that one, so you'll have to let me know out there. Jeff Blackledge says, Yahoo, that was about 10 minutes ago, so maybe it was the touchdown? Who knows? Doug Shasky still cheering on the Cubs. He never gives up. Corey Wenzel says, touchdown, damn. Zach Hockensmith cheering on Danny. Corey says, time for a comeback. Watching in St. Peters, Florida tonight. Glad to have you with us here live and free on Homecoming. And for the Cubs, they've got that after party that goes down at the community center. It's a lot more fun to go there after a big victory, especially on an occasion such as tonight. So see if they can put some heat, a little bit of pressure here on the Aces, who've backed off just a little bit defensively, now playing with a deep safety. Certainly have been crowding the line of scrimmage as the freshman and Schutz to the outside. Forced a maneuver back after Tommy Stai got in there. And just not a lot of room to work with.
No, and you still see these Amanda-Clearcreek Aces on defense. They are still ripping at that ball. These guys are not giving up on this game, even though they've got a 3-score lead. They don't want to even let Lucas sniff the end zone again.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Man in motion. The pitch is behind. I believe that was Daly.
Yeah, just took his eye off it, was looking at the end there. Yep, and I think you're right, Brian. A little bit behind him on the pitch, maybe a little bit low. You'd like to see that get out in front of his numbers a little.
So Lucas way behind the sticks now. That'll be a loss of 7. Grover from the gun. Hockensmith to his right, sets a block. Now he'll lift it. And incomplete behind the intended target, Anschutz.
Bobby Grover's pass.
And the Cubs down to their final down, and the punt unit actually coming on.
Brings up 4th down for
yeah,
the Cubs.
As much as it pains me to say this, Brian, I think Coach Sweat's right. You got to punt this away. You know, don't make this just a complete and utter disaster of a game. You know, 30-6. I know it's not much difference. You know, there's no moral victory in a 24-6 loss, but you don't want it to get worse. Still got more football left to play this season.
Winters back to punt. And the lefty skies this one. It'll be taken on the fly by Martin. Sidesteps around a couple of would-be tacklers, but then dropped basically nowhere to go after that.
And pretty good coverage. You touched on it, Brian. That was a really high punt. Didn't outkick his coverage there. That was well done.
Lucas still with 2 timeouts, 6:22 showing on the game clock. And the Aces in prime position. Try to pick up a couple of first downs and put the baby to bed early. 3-score advantage already. And they've ran the football incredibly effectively when they've had Logan Stevens out on the field. He's got his helmet back on. And he is under center. Half Falter down in a three-point stance. He'll get it straight ahead and barrels through. Bounced off a couple of his own linemen. Able to pick up 5 or so.
Yeah, just another good play for the front. Right here for Amanda-Clearcreek. You see him get about 3-4 yards of good push right off of the snap. Got to believe this Lucas defense is just kind of mentally beaten after all they've been through tonight. You know, and credit the Aces. They've made them again make decisions with the option. They've confused them with the shovel passes. It's not been easy.
Stevens gives again right side. 3 more yards.
Crenshaw again on the carry. Dan Hockensmith on the stop for the Cubs.
This time it's Gage Crenshaw, 5'7" senior, getting a touch.
Yep, number 51 there for Lucas. Not going to call that extracurricular, but I think he's getting a little frustrated. He maybe got held a little bit on that play, but this late in the game, just keep it between the whistles, keep it between the lines, play clean, and just finish it out strong.
3rd and short. Aces need a couple. They'll get it here via the flag as the Cubs jump a little bit early. Maybe a hard count down there from Logan Stevens. And there it is right in the middle of your picture. So it'll be a first down via the flag. And the clock running now under 5 minutes.
Gives Amanda-Clearcreek an automatic
as Amanda-Clearcreek
25-yard line.
looking to earn their first victory away from home here tonight. So put them at 4-3 and probably firmly in position to get a home playoff game with a couple more wins down the stretch.
Gage Crenshaw on the carry.
Yeah, we talked about it right there at halftime, Brian. It's going to be a tough week next week for them, but if they can weather that storm, stay healthy, which is not easy this late in the season, if they can stay healthy, get through that Logan Elm game, they've got a chance to, you know, maybe make a little headroom for themselves.
Take a look at what's coming ahead here for the Aces after this down. It'll be a toss play. Crenshaw again works his way to the outside, but he'll be met by a couple of Cubs. Caudill's there, along with Charlie Reed.
Crenshaw on the carry.
So 3rd down, chance for the defense to try to get off here. And you talked about that big game coming up. At least they get it at home against Logan Elm, quality program. Then 2 winnable games down the stretch, Fairfield Union and Liberty Union. So potentially you could see a couple of victories there. Close out the year.
I think so, Brian, and it's definitely possible. But here's the thing: if you're Amanda-Clearcreek, you got to stay positive through that Logan Elm game, regardless of what happens. You know, if you do come out and shock them, don't get too big of a head. If you come out and you take a loss, don't get too down on yourself. You got more football to play.
Cubs will stop him short at the 20. 4th down, 5. And presumably the offense will stay out there. Probably, well, I don't know, may not be quite out of Hayden Dunn's range.
I say bring in Dunn. I want to see him again.
I think it'd be pretty cool. Give him the opportunity here. Be a 37-yarder. And the way the kickers are maturing these days, nothing seems to be out of range. Certainly at the pro ranks, college too. Anything beyond 50 seems to be within their wheelhouse.
Yeah, real common to see 52, 55-yarders anymore.
Toss play again. A falter. Reads it to the edge. And he'll be about 1.5 yards shy. So the Lucas defense stands tall after the first down via penalty. They get the football back for their offense. And while the game likely out of reach with just 2:24 remaining, a lot of seniors out here, homecoming night. Maybe some more smiles to go around if you're a fan of the Lucas Cubs.
Yeah, Brian, it's nice to see Lucas. They're not waving the white flag. They're still out there. They're hitting. They're playing. You know, they might be kind of beaten mentally beaten on the defensive side, but that stop feels good.
Timeout taken by Amanda-Clearcreek. So back into the comments section we go. And on the YouTubes, LC giving me the bells again and says, "Go Ray," with an exclamation point. Maybe he's telling me that's how many times Raiden Caudill has lit somebody up. I'm just trying to read between the lines here.
That could be. Ringing bells.
And my Facebook family appears to have ran out of things to say. That's all right. Plenty of other games going down live and free right now on the OH Reports. I believe we have 7 live streams happening all at once. And that'll be the case over the next several weeks as well. And speaking of the next several weeks, let's see what is on the horizon for these Lucas Cubs, looking to bounce back after back-to-back losses. We'll be here at home with North Central coming to town a Friday from now. Then they head on the road to Lakota and finish things up with a team from Michigan, Whiteford.
Those are always interesting games. I love seeing the games against out-of-state teams. It's always, you know, there's always some wrinkles that you see from other areas.
On first down, big hole right through the middle of the field. Have not seen many of those tonight. A welcome sign here for Brady Giegold.
Yeah, Brian, right now it's just about pride. It's about believing in what you've put in this season in terms of work, and, you know, just have some pride and close this game out.
Takes it out to the 31-yard line. Clock down to 2 minutes. It's Giegold again, lowering the shoulder as he maneuvers out near the edge. Falls forward for a gain of 2. Nick Hollins there with the tackle.
Yeah, some good hits there, Brian.
Yeah, nice hit.
Again on the carry. Cole Castley on the stop for the Aces.
Cubs looking to move the ball a little bit more here over these last 95 ticks. They'll toss it to the freshman. And Brady able to snake through for a few. Third down on the way here for Lucas.
That number 2 jersey, Brian, is that what Logan Toms wore?
It is indeed.
I'm sitting here thinking, I think Anschutz is going to be a good one in the future here. He runs with some intensity.
He's off to a nice start to his career. Anytime you can break into the Lucas backfield as a freshman.
Yeah.
Means that you're poised for big things. Here's just a sophomore. It's Giegold, the next in line.
And you brought up a really good point, Brian. This offense is not necessarily, it's simple in terms of you don't have a ton of plays that you're running, but it's not easy to get the timing down. And for a freshman to be starting and playing as much as he is, it's a great sign.
Flag flies after that last carry. Giegold almost at 800 yards here for his sophomore season. So he's off to a fine start to his varsity career as Cubs will have a first down 5 coming up, but just 44 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Brian, Amanda-Clearcreek kind of got away with one. I know the penalty was on them, and you never like to commit a penalty, but this one kind of bailed them out because the left side of that field was pretty much wide open, save for 1 or 2 guys. And they had orange hats on them, too.
Brady again off the pitch, and he storms his way into enemy territory. Bobby Grover off the lead block. He's down, slow to get up, and Lucas does not have to snap it again if they don't want to. And likely might be the good call here.
See Grover out there. Had a replacement coming on, giving him a breath, but it's the last play of the game. You know that he wants to be out there.
Bobby under center will pitch it. Here goes Brady. And that'll actually stop the clock. This should be a first down.
Brady Hand shoots the ball carrier.
But that will be the last play of the ball game as Amanda-Clearcreek comes on the road. And it's Aces Wild here tonight. They get the victory, their first on the road this season, to get above 500 at 4-3. We will take a quick commercial timeout. When we come back, we will hear from your most valuable player of the game. Might have to be two players here tonight with that two-headed pocket aces backfield of Stai and Martin. Drop me a comment. Let me know who you'd like to hear from. We'll have that coming up in about 5 minutes. Then Jeremy and I will close out the show, talk about what we saw here tonight, get you all set up for the Friday Night Pigskin, airing live and free at 11:30. Keep it with us. More to come. Post-game show presented by 89 Homes on the way.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Men have a way of doing things. A man has his way of eating, of exercising, of keeping his hands warm, and of straightening up. So, when a man faces a serious life problem like divorce, depression, or suicidal thoughts, shouldn't a man have a way to deal with that too? Well, now he does. I'm Dr. Rich Mahogany. Visit me at mantherapy.org.
lights, let's go. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now. Friday night lights. Get hype, it's Friday night. Friday night lights. Get hype, here we go now.
We're back now with our co-players of the game. We got the law offices of Martin, Stai, and Williams here. Big performances by all three of them. We'll begin with the quarterback, Logan Stevens. You were really impressive to watch. You were like a magician out there with the football in the backfield. It opened up a lot of holes for these guys and then certainly yourself. So let's just start there. And how much is that something that you guys are working on at practice, just making sure that nobody can really get a read on who's going to be carrying the football?
Honestly, it goes week by week, and this week we knew that their ends really like to dive down and go for the running back. So this week I normally don't run the ball, but we knew that they would be diving down trying to get the running back. It made it easier for me to make that read, and once he stopped diving, it opened up plenty for the running backs.
You guys have played a lot of close games this year, including last week, just a 1-point loss for you guys. So bouncing back, getting this victory here on the road, how nice was this to get your first one away from home?
It was really nice. It meant a lot to me. Now we even have a record better than last year's already. Knowing that we're 3-0 in the pit, that was our goal, to defend the pit, and so far we have, and now this puts us up in a great position to go at least 6-4, maybe even 7-3.
Yeah, huge win, of course, here on the road to get yourself in a position, too, to host a home playoff game if you continue to keep the good times rolling. Pass off the microphone now. We'll bring in Bodie Martin. And I heard you guys down there singing a little happy birthday in the huddle. Whose birthday is it tonight?
Coach Ken's birthday.
What
big
a huge
70.
Oh, big birthday for him here tonight. 70 years old, and you get the victory. The feeling on the sideline and then in the huddle at the end of the game, getting the win on the road. Not a lot of teams come here and get wins. How satisfying is this for you and the rest of the boys?
It's very satisfying coming all the way up here. They're a physical team, and we knew it was going to be 4 quarters of physical football, and it's really satisfying knowing we came out on top.
That's kind of your role, it felt like, in the backfield, is to be that physical ball-running presence. 2 touchdowns for you here tonight to add to your total. Describe this season for me through your eyes and how it's been going so far with this 3-headed monster that you guys got in the backfield.
It's been going great. All 3 of us can run the ball really well. It's hard for defenses to guard 3 guys when you all 3 can run the ball. And our line been doing great.
That was definitely the case here tonight. Go ahead, pass it down the line. Tommy Stai, another touchdown for you. I believe you guys are actually tied for the team lead now since you got a couple here tonight. Is this a competitive backfield where you guys that you just kind of you love trying to maybe top one or the other, having a big time run?
Sort of, but we know what we're both capable of, and I don't care if he goes in and gets a touchdown. I don't care if I get a touchdown as long as we score.
It's all about getting the win, getting the scores.
Yep.
And for you guys, a big game coming up next week. Logan Elm, I know, is on the schedule. You at least get him at home, so getting that a nice taste here in your mouth after last week's tough defeat. That's probably got to be special. I believe it's Fair Week for you guys coming up as well, right? So, at least you got some good juju going for you. How exciting is next Friday's game going to be for this team?
Well, we're 3-0 in the pit, like Logan said. I know. We just got to keep defending it. Logan Elm's a tough team, but I feel like coming off this win, we can have and they're a big rival for our birthday boy, Coach Ken. So we're going to try to make him proud and come out with this victory.
Like your quarterback said, this already more wins than you guys had a season ago. What were the expectations for this team? But what did you guys talk about before the season in terms of accomplishments that you wanted to hit?
Just keep going and get better than last year, because 2 years ago we were 0-10, and then last year 3-7. We're just planning on getting better progressively, and that's what we've done so far.
Well, congratulations, getting a big victory here on the road. Last but not least, if you guys want to each look in the camera, give as many shout-outs as you like.
Shout out my lineman, Peter, best one out there. You got it.
Shout out Chase Hanna, always leading the way for me. Right guard.
Shout out Maddox Stipple, never missing a snap.
All right, Tommy Stai, Bodie Martin, and Logan Stevens, your combined MVPs presented by Mechanics Bank. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you folks live and free thanks to our good friends over at Ohio Valley Manufacturing, heavy gauge stamping and precision blanking services. They are hiring right now. 89 homes, building homes, earning trust since 1979. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. TMS Plus digital marketing for local businesses. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970. Avita Home Health and Hospice, providing high-quality community health care and improving the quality of health in families throughout their lifespan. Charter Next Gen, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. And the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, just because life hasn't been all sandalwood and sunshine doesn't mean that it can't get better. If it's time for a checkup from the neck up, visit mantherapy.org. And we'll now welcome you inside of the 89 Homes post-game show. 24-6, Amanda-Clearcreek gets a victory here on the road tonight at Bob Wine Field, sending Lucas below 500 at 3-4 on the season. Brian Skowronski here with Jeremy Peoples. And where do I start with this one, Jeremy? Got to be impressed with what we saw from the road team tonight. Had not personally got to see Amanda-Clearcreek in a game so far, but this is a team that's been building, as you just heard from the 3 MVPs, had a winless season just a couple of years back. So to get above 500, to be in a position right now where they're very much in the driver's seat to try to get a home playoff game, you got to like this group of kids, and certainly the way they play. A lot of fun, certainly those 3 backfield mates.
Yeah, and we heard him say, Brian, that Lucas is a physical football team, and we've seen that week in, week out when we're here. But I think they might have been selling themselves short a little bit. Amanda-Clearcreek, they are also physical, and not just, from the 3 guys that we talked to tonight, but their line on both sides of the ball, they had some success. They were hard-nosed, and they played 4 complete quarters, and looked good doing it.
That's why they were able to walk away with a multi-score victory here tonight. Coming up, though, here on the horizon. Next up for Lucas, still at home. Back here at Bob Wine Field, they've got North Central on the way. And then we spoke with our 3 MVPs about that game against Logan Elm. And the Pit is what they like to call their home turf.
Yeah, I like that.
That's going to be pretty fun for them to be back at home and a chance to get to 5-3, and how about the playoff points if you beat a team that I believe is going to be 6-1 by the end of the night. So, kind of everything's right in front of the Aces right now.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on something that we heard from these boys up here. A couple seasons ago, they were 0-10, and just think about the turnaround. You go from an 0-10, a winless season, and 2 seasons later, you're talking about beating a team like Logan Elm. I mean, they're a big school. They're a fairly storied program. They've had a lot of success. That just shows you the turnaround in mentality and maybe even philosophy in Amanda-Clearcreek football. And it's really good to just see the fire that those 3 guys had in them.
No question. And then for Lucas, you want to end the season with a couple of wins, get back into the playoffs, something that they've done double-digit years in a row. New coach Jimmy Sweat, and you want to keep the tradition going. I saw Scott Spittler here in the building tonight kind of pick up where he left off with his 15 years. We looked at the schedule for them, Jeremy. Some winnable games coming up, at least on paper, for the Cubs. Got to clean up a few things, and offensively, I thought this after the Week 2 loss against Hillsdale, but I'm just not sure really where they go. It just seems like that there needs to be something a little bit different from what we saw in years past, and it's got them 3 victories so far up to this point. Tough to see them really steamrolling teams like they've done, like against Willard, on too many more occasions here as they wind out the regular season.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Brian. They need a little change-up. Traditionally, they've had a lot of success with this run first and almost exclusively running offense. But we saw it tonight. Bobby Grover has got a little bit of that dog in him, a little bit of that cub in him, if you will. And he's got an arm. And I think if for a guy like him, if you just kind of build up a little bit of confidence and you give him some more opportunities with the ball, I think he can have some success. And if you add that extra little wrinkle to your offense, you're not going to have a tough defensive line like Amanda-Clearcreek be able to zero in on those, 5, 6, 7 run plays that you run really consistently and usually with good success.
We'll be back here next Friday to see the Cubs battle North Central, but that will wrap up our coverage here tonight from Bob Wine Field. Homecoming for the Cubs didn't turn out exactly like they were hoping, but they certainly had some key big moments like you saw right there. The fumble on the second play from scrimmage, Ray Caudill able to pick it up for Lucas. Still have all the highlights coming up tonight on the Friday Night Pigskin, 11:30 p.m. We will be live with that. wouldn't be here live and free without the help of our friends Ohio Valley Manufacturing, 89 Homes, Mechanics Bank, TMS Plus Digital Marketing, Home and Kitchen Supply, Avita Home Health and Hospice, Charter Next Gen, and the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation. For Jeremy Peoples pulling double duty tonight, camera and color commentary, I am Brian Skowronski saying so long from Lucas. We'll see you on the pigskin coming up here in about a couple hours. So long, folks.